slickers back to leaving their apartments. Fox's Chris Osborne has more.
An inner-city classroom is about as far away from a farm as you can get. But in this classroom in the Bronx, believe it or not, these kids are farmers. The farm is in upstate New York. It has crops and even a fish pool. The kids at Middle School 206B do the daily chores by remote control, using the internet, robots, and video teleconferencing.
It's incredible that you can build a robot to actually do something that you want it to do. This is just a draft, like a first draft. Yeah. We're gonna make one of these in stainless steel with actually a platform with a camera that moves on this.
The students operate these robotic machines using a small control panel. This high-tech, hands-on learning lets them pull up weeds and plant seeds in a garden over 80 miles away. Other Tele-Robotic functions include feeding the fish.
The fish farm that they use teaches them the basics of the fish, you know, pH levels and oxygen levels, and which they learn the basics in here, but then they get to use the technology on the computer, and they go over through the internet, the ISDN lines that Bell Atlantic has set up for us, and they get to dial in at the farm.
The unique project is sponsored by the local phone company, which hopes to get these kids excited about the technology it's developing.
Classroom is usually seen as 4 walls that the teacher closes the door and that's it. The kids and the teachers interact. Now, because of this technology, unique resources can become inside the classroom and really make it an exciting day for the kids.
Occasionally, some students make it out to the country, the place known as Young McDonald's Farm, to check up on their labors.
We're going to check dissolved oxygen, temperature, and pH.
And that's the whole concept, once again, behind Young McDonald's Farm. It's their farm. The Young McDonald's Farm is on the basis that it's the students run it. To me, it's been a great deal because it's a hands-on approach to a lot of activities for the students. It's self-motivating for the students.
Motivating enough, maybe, to make students feel excited about going to school. And that may be the most important thing being grown here. In New York, Chris Osborne, Fox News.
As you can see, those young farmers did have to leave their apartments, but they still enjoyed it. Coming up next, if you're going to get somewhere else today.
Young McDonald's Farm is a Tele-Robotic farm that allows us to work with telecommunications in the context of hands-on learning, where I can work interactively with teachers and students. In that process, I'm getting those kids to realize their ideas and their concepts about what's possible. They're able to build tele-robots and feed the fish on the farm, or water the plants on the farm, or plant new plants.
We grew a salsa gardens because that's what the students wanted to do. And then we incorporated other curriculums of social studies and history and Mexican food and math and shopping and
chemistry and water chemistry.
The list just went on. And then when they started to do that, they realized these were their plants, that they had to take care of them, so they got naturally interested in chemistry and soil and watering and how what are the parts of the plants, the anatomy of plants, and these things all extended from them, really, because it's their garden, and they want to know as much as they possibly can about their garden. And so we just keep giving them more and more curriculum as a challenge, and they just keep eating it up, really, just like the garden.
The technology we're using here at Ocean of No and Young McDonald's ISDN, Integrated Services Digital Network. Once you say the words, you really don't know much more than ISDN. But it's really just electronics that go on the end of regular phone lines. There's nothing really that special. It can be used almost anywhere, and it turns regular phone lines from voice lines into voice data and video lines.
A lot of people see the World Wide Web as the only solution to distance learning, and in fact that there's a lot more available out there as far as video teleconferencing, which allows us to communicate with people at scale.
Bell Atlantic is very interested in educational change, and we really think educational change is going to happen through telecommunications. And not really just because we're in the telecommunication business, but just because that's the way it is. Kids want to be connected to the internet, kids want to be connected to experts, and this is the technology that allow you to do it.
What I learned was all the different things you could do with just over a computer. That before an internet was an internet, you could go to a place, but actually operating machinery or robots over the computers, I never knew that that could actually be done.
I think we all know, we all learn better when we can question somebody, and if you don't know exactly how something works, you can ask them, well, exactly how does this work? Why is this so big, or something like that? And it's hard to imagine, like cable in the classroom or watching a video in classroom where there's no interactivity, how you really get information from that resource. So now we have the ability to bring experts into the classroom that you can interact with. And I think this questioning ability and going back and forth is the most important part of this.
It's going to revolutionize the way students are really learning, the way teachers are actually teaching, and it's going to really and truly impact what the classrooms of the future are really and truly about. And I think this is really the foundation for all of that.
I think this technology really interests kids and really provokes their imagination. Mundane things like knowing they're going to be talking to experts so they dress a little better that day in the classroom, to just deep educational issues where kids who are really interested in that particular subject know they're going to be talking to the expert and really can get excited about education again. They can go to the classroom excited about going to the classroom, and it's more fun to be in the classroom than to be at home.
This is really about students building their own knowledge base.
Right.
You know, since they're the primary investigators, they're actually using a tool that allows them to access as much information as possible.
And how better to do that than interacting with experts? And this technology, ISDN, allows experts into the classroom and allows kids to question and construct their own education instead of just being fed education by teachers. And also, we also know that information is doubling every 18 months or even sooner than that. So teachers no longer can know everything. So you really need experts in the classrooms to explain things to kids today.
We're working, we're having fun, and we're learning at the same time by doing things. It makes it much easier.
Cable in the classroom's been around for quite a while and pretty successful, but that's really one-way broadcast of information into classrooms. And we really feel with kids today, you need the interactivity of kids talking to experts. So this technology allows experts right into the classroom. It's two-way audio, two-way video, so the kids can see the experts can see the kids, they can hear each other. It's just like the expert was in the room. And this is really the way to get education done today, to excite kids with the experts, the curator of a museum or a NASA scientist in the classroom interacting with kids.
There's a lot of information that's conveyed visually, and there's a lot of experiments that we can do hands-on through video teleconferencing technology that you can't get off the World Wide Web.
All right, this is a sensor probe, all right? This communicates with the modem. Are you with me? There'll be a quiz on this. We're going to check dissolved oxygen, temperature, and pH, all right? These are the sensors that we're dropping in the water. This is for dissolved oxygen. This one's for pH. And this sensor will measure the temperature, all right? So what we'll do is we'll pull that up. You'll dial into this modem. The modem talks to this box, all right? And you'll bring up this software, all right? And this software is going to show you how to chart the pH levels and how to chart the oxygen levels. Is when you get your readings, if you see an emergency, you send me an email and you leave me a voicemail so I know to check the fish out here, all right? Or what we'll do is we'll do different things with the robot and maybe dump some, work with the water, maybe dump some chemical in or let some of the water go so we don't start losing fish.
All we really did was really take care of them in the way that we checked their water, we took tests like alkalinity. There was ammonia, pH, and oxygen. We did that to make sure that the fishes were okay, because we want our fishes to last. We want to see them there, and we want to know that, you know, and it feels good to know that you were the one who took care of them, and you were the one who made them, you know, to let them live, and you gave them a chance.
And regarding all this, the same thing applies, because you're growing all these vegetables that are growing right in front of you, and it feels good to know that you was the one growing them.
I think there's the ability out there for all schools to have smart classrooms, and this technology would facilitate that. We're really at just the beginning of this. We're working on in Bell Atlantic a lot of different projects to try to bring these type of educational applications into the classroom. So I think the smart classroom is something still of the future, but definitely doable. We're very interested in education reform. We think that education needs to change. We need to make education exciting for kids again, and we really think telecommunications can make that happen in a real meaningful way.